If only my man cave had a shooting range. What's going on, guys? Hope everybody's doing well. Today we're going to be taking a closer look at the Leupold VX Freedom. Now, Leupold released their Freedom lineup at SHOT Show 2018. I was very intrigued by it, so I hit up the guys over at Optics Planet. They got one out for us to test and review, so today we're going to be going over what I think about this scope. Now, when Leupold released the VX Freedom lineup, I really wasn't sure why they were releasing it, because they already have the VX1 and the VX2, but Leupold's goal behind the VX Freedom lineup was to create one scope that was better than the VX2 at a better price than the VX1, so that's something that's definitely beneficial for us consumers. Now, the VX Freedom does have quite a few things different than the VX1 or VX2, and I actually run a Leupold VX2 on this 1022 build here, and I love it. Great quality glass for the money, and I usually find myself calling these budget optics. I shouldn't do that. I know they're not, but in my mind, it's like if you're gonna buy a quality rifle or a decent rifle, you should definitely have quality glass on it. Now, it would be nice to be able to throw a $1,000 piece of glass on everything, but I know that's not realistic. So these scopes coming in right around $200, give or take, are the perfect ticket in my opinion. Now let's go over some of the differences between these two scopes and what Leupold has changed for the Freedom lineup. So let's go ahead and set this one down. And I love that build, but this one here has really taken the cake for me. But some of the things that are different on this Leupold VX Freedom compared to the older VX1 and VX2s would be first, the Leupold symbol. Now this isn't that big of a deal, but right when I took this out of the box, that was the first thing that I noticed. So on the new VX Freedoms, you will see the Leupold L in crosshairs. I think that is an awesome symbol compared to the older L that sits down in that little gold ring, I guess it would be, in crosshairs, which is kind of cool, but I definitely like the newer Leupold symbol on the Freedom lineup. Now, another thing that is very noticeably different is going to be your magnification dial. So on the new VX Freedom lineup, it has a ton of awesome serrations around that. And then the main point where you're going to grab this to set your desired magnification sticks up and is a lot bulkier. On the older VX models, you can see right on top there where it's not the best little hump there to grab and set your magnification. It's obviously worked for years and it is still a great optic, but on the Leupold VX Freedom lineup, it is a hell of a lot better. Now, another big difference on the VX Freedom compared to the VX1 and the VX2 is going to be our windage and elevation dials. Now, I do like the caps on the VX Freedom a lot better than the older VX2s, which I will show you in a minute, but our turrets on here are very nice, very, very positive clicks, and with these, what I found is they're not loud clicks. You really can't even hear it, but they are very positive. You can feel it just fine. Now, this does have quarter MOA adjustments that you just turn with your hand. I think that's very easy, very good method. And as I said, they are waterproof caps that cover it up. Now let's check out the older windage and elevation dials on the VX2. So on the VX2, the caps are gonna be a little bit different. Much slimmer, much smaller, which I really don't think that's an advantage at all. I definitely like the serrations and everything on the VX Freedom caps. Now, as for your actual turret, these are a little bit different as they do put out a pretty positive click as well as give you a sound. Now, I don't really know the goal behind that, but I don't seem to mind it on the VX Freedom. I do like the click. I don't know, maybe some people complained about it for a hunting application. I don't know, but all in all, I do like the windage and elevation settings on the VX Freedom just a little bit more. Now, with this setup here, the VX2, like I said, it's always been a great optic. I definitely don't plan on getting rid of it. It has been a perfect fit for this 1022 build. This one here I actually built for the kids to kind of learn to shoot on. So this one here does serve a great purpose, and I don't plan on changing it anytime soon. So back to the VX Freedom. This is a 1-inch tube and comes in your basic matte black finish. Very nice, tends to match most rifles just fine. And in classic Leupold fashion, we have our gold ring right up there on front. Now, with this being a dedicated rimfire scope, which all of the Freedom lineup is not made for rimfire, Leupold makes a wide variety of different scopes in the Freedom lineup. This one here just happens to be a rimfire because I wanted it to be a dedicated scope for this 22LR build. Now, getting into the crosshairs, they are very crisp. And one thing I thought was really cool On this Rimfire model, on the bottom portion of the crosshair, they have 25 individual little hash marks that are 1 MOA increments. I thought that was a really cool feature for Leupold to put on a Rimfire optic. Now let's talk a little bit about the rings and base that I decided to go with. So whenever I put a scope, a red dot, whatever the case may be on a rifle, I always like to put decent rings and a decent scope base or a decent mount, whatever the case may be. But on this one here, we are running some Leupold rings as well as a Leupold Picatinny scope base made for a 1022. Now on this setup here, we're also running some Leupold rings and a Leupold scope base. I just think if you're gonna buy a quality optic, you really need a quality mount or quality rings and scope base to have a reliable optic setup. Now, much like any other Leupold product on the market, it is waterproof, fog-proof, and Leupold does stand behind it with their lifetime warranty. Now let's check out how this scope comes to you when you order it. So it's nothing fancy, nothing to get crazy about, but Leupold does ship this out in a decent little scope box. It's not going to move around, that's for sure. They have it placed in here, tucked in there very nicely, and it comes with the instructions, owner's manual, your warranty card from Leupold, and an NRA membership card. Take that how you want to. I don't care if you're an NRA member or not. Either way, it's good with me. And then on either side of the box, it's going to tell you what model scope this is, what magnification, what reticle's in there. Leupold definitely doesn't go above and beyond on their packaging, but don't let that fool you. They make some damn nice scopes, and they've been doing it for a long time. Now, Leupold's been making scopes for a long time, but here in the past few years, they have started to drop some red dots. The LCO, the Delta Point, and those are a few optics from Leupold that I really want to get my hands on. If any of you guys have any experience with Leupold red dots, definitely leave it down in the comment section below. I think that's going to wrap it up on the Leupold VX Freedom, and definitely be expecting some more footage on this. I'd love to take this out to the range and see what this setup could do. I do have a target handy when I sighted the rifle in, and I will go ahead and roll in some range footage after we check this out. But I sighted the rifle in right about 50 yards, and this was after it was sighted in, obviously, and I am not a 22 marksman. I'm not a professional shooter. This was on the bipod in the prone position, and most of these 4-shot groups were covered up with a dime. So that is something I was pretty happy with. That is just CCI standard ammo. I do plan on ordering some match grade 22 LR ammo to really see what this full Quartzen build could do. Now let's go ahead and roll on some range footage. So as you guys just saw, I've been having an absolute blast with this full Quartzen VM22. This is honestly one of my favorite guns to shoot these days, and the Leupold VX Freedom was a perfect match for this build. Now I do have a few videos out on this full Quartzen VM22 build. I'll go ahead and leave a few links down in the video description. Now I want to give Optics Planet a huge thank you for sending this scope out. Like I said, we'll definitely be getting out to the range, making some more content with it. But if you guys have any further questions on the VX Freedom or the VX2, definitely let me know down in the comment section below. But I think that's going to wrap it up, so big thank you to the guys over at Optics Planet. If you guys are ever over there shopping, use the discount code GG226. Save a little bit of money on your order, and it also lets those guys know you are seeing my videos. So as always, thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. I'll catch you guys in the next one.